evening, folks. Welcome to Connections. I'm Philip J. Brutus. As you know, this time of night we usually invade your home and bring you connections. And what we do here, we analyze issues of importance to you with a panel of experts that we have had over the past few months. And I hope you appreciate the hard work they've done because they do a lot of research to bring you this great show. And of course, occasionally we have a guest. But tonight we're going to talk about very important issues. We don't have an actual guest, but we have our panel is going to help us decipher certain issues. First issue we're going to talk about tonight is the return of Jean-Claude Duvalier, Baby Doc, to Haiti. If you didn't know, 25 years ago, he fled into exile after there was a popular uprising against him because his father, before him, had served for 15 years and, by all account, had murdered millions of people and pilfered a lot of money. The son came in, did the same thing, and eventually people say enough is enough, so he was forced into exile in France. But suddenly, last week, Baby Doc walks into an airplane and goes from Paris to to Guadeloupe, and took a flight from Guadeloupe to Port-au-Prince. And that set up a frenzy of press and all kinds of speculations. Now, let me turn to my right. I guess today we're going to put you on the hot seat, Natasha. You're so hard, outspoken on several issues. What do you think? Why is this guy back in Haiti? You think got him back there?
You know, I'm still curious, and I'm wondering what his motivation was to go back after all these years. I'm wondering if he's like sparking a fuel to get back into politics some way, somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but I'm very curious as to what this visit, what's the next step to this visit.
Or is it a visit? Or is it a return home, a homecoming?
Is it a return home? I don't know. You know, I'm still questioning myself and trying to read more about exactly why. After all these years, it's 25 years?
25 years.
He comes back, and just for nothing. It appears like for nothing. He's just coming.
I don't think it's nothing. I think it's an opportunity. The country's in shambles. I mean, they're still on the reels of bouncing back from the earthquake. They had the cholera epidemic that was going on. They had the elections that didn't go so well the other day. A number of things are going on in Haiti right now. Things are in shambles. And I think what he's banking on is the short-term memory of people when they're in this kind of situation in particular. They're looking for...
A desperate situation?
Well, you know, a lot of times people want a hero. People are looking for a hero.
But it looks like at one point in time, you know, his father did so much bad and he did so much bad. Do you think people are going to have short-term memories during this time?
He had supporters even then. There were people swarming his hotel when he was on his return this time.
Most of the people were young.
They don't even know what happened. He's this myth, this you know, this urban legend.
Dr. Gomez, let's look at another aspect of it. Is it likely that a higher-profile guest of France would just get on an airplane without the French government's permission, or at least acquiescence, get on a plane and go to a country that he fled from to save his life?
Yeah, the number of things we have to consider include, are we sure that this isn't a political ploy or positioning and using his at least marginal still popularity with a certain segment and the population, either to deflect attention from corruption within the current government
and the election
or is Proval actually setting him up for arresting him, and so to come out as a hero? There's a lot of issues here, and you don't know what his motivations are. You don't know what the current government's motivation are. And
I think he's there for political reasons.
Some people say he was broke. He was on his last dime in France. He figured, let me just go home. Maybe I can hoodwink some people into giving me some money, and I'll be back in the money. I don't know. I mean, you think that makes sense?
Haiti seems a little broke right now.
What about this issue that he's terminally ill?
He looks ill.
You guys doctors. Well, I think it's documented that he's ill, and so the issue is now becomes...
What's he ill from?
I'm not sure of the condition. I'm just...
They didn't specify. Well, they're just saying physically when you look at him, he looks like he's very ill.
Well, that having been reported, it certainly goes to your point that maybe he just wants to go out on top, or at least not at the bottom, or ignored. I mean, this guy thrived on his fame and his infamy.
He surely did.
It just seems like a strange time to all of a sudden appear in Haiti. With all of this going on, the things that Donette mentioned earlier.
I don't see it as so strange.
I do.
I don't see it as
I don't see it as strange, but I think that there is a motivation behind it.
Absolutely.
There's something, but time will tell. But I think he is planning on staying because they were saying something about him renovating one of his old homes.
Again, did he come by invitation of the current government?
No.
That's the question.
Or did he just come of his own accord, really? And the likelihood that he did this just of his own accord without any guarantees.
No.
For all we know, this is going to be a political showcase, and they're going to arrest him, try him, make it seem like they've done everything possible, and perhaps deport him. It doesn't really matter so long as it calls attention to the current government is doing the right thing.
Well, it's interesting you said deportation because the reason he was accepted in France, his grandfather was not Haitian, came from Guadeloupe. And Guadeloupe is the Department of France, and they're all French citizens. So they sort of grandfathered him in as a French citizen because of that. So they might deport him. But some people say Preval, because of the billions of dollars that are going to be spent in Haiti, has been trying to, maneuver the election so he could stay in power, his offsprings or his folks would stay in power. So he engineered this to deflect people from reflecting on the election. And basically, people are just obsessed by this guy who's in, and they're following every day. And before you know it, February 27th, they're going to have the election. He'll just slip this person in. You think that's as callous as it sounds, as crass as it sounds?
I just can't see that happening.
And I don't think they're that stupid that they would just fall for that, be distracted and all of a sudden. Boom.
You mean the old okey doke? It's worked before. But it happens. I mean, people want. They get caught up in the hype and the hero. It's just like England's obsession with the Queen and that royal family. I mean, Baby Doc is by all accounts some kind of royalty in Haiti.
It depends who you're talking to, I think. I think it depends on...
Well, in his case, it's not a positive thing, but he's a part of this
fabric of
fabulosity that used to exist in Haiti.
He's the Sarah Palin of Haiti.
Well,
he's as airhead as him. I've heard. He's not too
with
bright.
A few less social outlets, media outlets.
Well, let me ask you something, Bruce. Did they say that he's on his last time? He's actually broke. Did they say that?
That's what somebody said to me. Somebody said, I think he's broke. He's started learning French. He misses his pomposity and all the money he had, and all the women, all the nice cars.
But they said that he went on. He went to France and became an attorney. I would expect his law firm to be booming.
No,
but the political outlets, the news outlets are jumping all over the possibility that this is some sort of grand conspiracy between the United States and France.
That's the first thing I said.
Again,
would that be so far-fetched?
Exactly. I said, anything is possible. You don't
know.
Grasping.
I think that's grasping at straws, just because they don't know what the story is. But I think it's a lot more complicated and maybe probably tied to the current government's needing to call attention to itself and distinguish itself as different.
Aristide's friends are saying, well, if he could go back, Aristide should go back. Now, imagine Aristide is back in the country. And Baby Doc in the country. Ooh. What a mix.
So basically what you're saying is that this is just like Sudan, and you have any country in which...
their fiefdoms, and then, hey, pass it out. I tell you, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but I tell you, it's interesting that this guy...
But what's the likelihood of something like that happening with Aristide going back?
I don't know. People were saying they should arrest Preval because they stole $197 million from Venezuela. Right. Disappeared. And don't ask me any questions. I don't know. The money came, they didn't take it in bags. That money was wired somewhere, so don't ask me any questions. They said they should arrest Preval.
They should.
And people say if Aristide goes back, they should arrest him too for whatever. So, and if they arrest Baby Doc, all of them should be in jail. That's what people are saying. I don't know which is the most practical, but it seems like something has to happen. And the problem is the government never said anything. The Haitian government doesn't have a press office. They say, okay, today we heard this guy came in. This is the government's position. This is what we're going to do. It's like, look, we don't have anything to tell you.
I mean, but they did put out the statement that they're going to reopen the case. That's already been in process.
Right.
And not only are they going to reopen the case, but they're going to add a number of other charges. Again, it seems like a way to whitewash the situation. Just say we're better than what it was here.
That's what I was worrying about. What are the statute of limitations?
His attorney says everything is statute ran. On all the crimes
how long was he? Was he permanently in exile? Was he supposed to be exiled forever, or was there a term of exile?
But is there a statute of limitations of being assassinated? Think of, if they're really that angry, and I understand there was a lot of anger by the things that he's done. I mean, I don't think he can go to Haiti and
Well,
live a decent life. I just don't think
I think that's
so.
the case for Judge Baltasar Garzón from Spain, because he prosecuted Pinochet, prosecuted all these war crimes, criminals from Argentina, and that happened years and years and years ago. So it seems to me if the statute ran in Haiti, they'll be able to at least bring him before some international judge.
I think him going to Haiti, he's asking for trouble, though, if he decides to go there to live. I do.
I know it's gonna be because see, his partisans are gonna be armed. IRC's partisans are gonna be armed. Preval's is gonna be armed, and you have the United Nations in the middle. They're not doing anything but just go to the beach every day and steal people's goats.
That's right.
That's what they accuse them of stealing goats.
That's
so I don't know if it's true or not. But anyway, folks, I think this is a very interesting news. We'll watch it. We'll continue analyzing and developing for you. You watch Your Connections. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about LimeWire. So those of you who've been getting all this free stuff on LimeWire, the curtains fall.
I'm so mad.
I wish I knew about LimeWire. I feel so stupid.